Hey there, card folk. Speedrobo here. And today I've got three Vanguard Zero Neo Nectar deck profiles for you. We're going to start off by talking about the new things that came out. Both Musketeer and Arboros has been released, so the two main decks we're covering today are those. And then the third deck is a simple upgrade to a Trailing Rose focused build. So basically just an upgrade to my previous Neo Nectar deck. Let's get started with Musketeer. This is the deck I've been playing the most, even though it's not necessarily the best, and we're going to talk about that as we go through the decks. So this is your optimum Musketeer deck. Now you might notice there's a distinct lack of Musketeer in this Musketeer deck. And that's because Musketeer is very, very bad. And the reason why Musketeer is bad is that, one, if you're playing pure Musketeer, you aren't running Gene. You need to run Gene. If you're playing Neo Nectar, you better be running Gene. He is the only thing that makes Neo Nectar even mid-tier. Neo Nectar is not a good clan. I want to make that very clear. If you're looking to get wins, if you're looking to net deck a deck that will win games for you, click off of this video right now. Neo Nectar is very mediocre at best. It's mid-tier on its best days, and it's all thanks to Gene. He's a recycling trigger that calls grade 2s, and that is Neo Nectar's best thing. So you need to be running Gene no matter what deck you're playing. That's just a guaranteed. And the other reason why Musketeers are bad is honestly because of Cecilia. Her best feature is the fact that she's 11. Her limit break actively works against what the rest of the deck is trying to do. You have to return 5 non-triggers back to your deck and shuffle it to call 2 grade 3s. Those grade 3s don't have intercept. They're fucking worthless. Why would I want to thicken my deck when the rest of the deck's whole gimmick is thinning out the deck to hit my triggers? For example, her act skill is actually pretty decent. You retire a Musketeer, check the top 5, call a Musketeer. That's not bad. That really helps you deck thin. The problem is that if you hit your Cecilia off of this and nothing else, you're forced to call a trigger, and again, that works counterintuitively to what you're trying to do. So, that's why we only run 3 Cecilia and no other Musketeer grade 3s, because if you run Musketeer grade 3s, your deck is not going to function correctly. You're going to be calling triggers out of your deck, and that's the last thing you want to do. Then you run 4 Trailing Rose, because she is still... She's the second best grade 3 in the clan, and I don't feel like there's any contest on that. Her Persona Blast is totally serviceable, and she's an 11k. And then we run 2 Laurel, because she's a beater and can help get around cross rides. And that's her function. Then we're going into grade 2s. You run Jean. You run 3 Rainbow Wood. You don't counterblast all that often, and she's a good way to get some extra cards in your hand. So you run Rainbow Wood. You can also run Tree Sage in this slot, and it will work for you. Then you run 6 Musketeer grade 2s, 2 Subclan Beater, just because he's a 9k base, and that's fine. And then you run 4 Kyvant. So Kyvant lets you thin your deck. When placed, Counterblast 1, sack a Musketeer, check the top 4, call a Musketeer. Deck thinning, it's good. Grade 1s, you run 3 Blade Seed Squire. He's not as important as the grade 2 and the grade 3 Genes, so you can get away with playing 3. But he's still very good. If you have to go second, you want to be able to place one of these guys on rearguard in order to be the first player with 2s on board. And that really helps Neo Nectar bounce back, even though they had to go second. 4 Perfect Guard, because duh. Then we're running 4 Becky. She is a Kyvant clone, so again, helps you thin your deck. That's important. And then we run Subclan Beater, just to have another Musketeer card name in the deck. And your starter is P-Knight. If you aren't running a Ride Chain, your starter is going to be P-Knight. Put triggers back in your deck. It's good. So that's Musketeer. Of course, you're running 9 draw and 4 heal. If you build a deck in this game and you're running anything that isn't 9 draw and 4 heal, you built your deck incorrectly. There's no reason not to use this trigger lineup at all times. And there you go. There's your Musketeer deck. It's fine, but this deck right here is better. I don't have it fully complete because the game will not give me Arboros at all. So this is what we've had to go with. Now, the reason why I say that this is better than Musketeer is simply because it uses a Ride Chain, and Ride Chains are the best thing that you can do in this game, and there's no contest on that. So, also, Musketeer is just bad. I mean, that's another thing. So, best card to have on your Vanguard as a grade 3 is Arbros Dragon Sephiroth. His limit break is not too bad. All of your duplicates gain +3, which is not too bad. Counterblast 2, Call a Duplicate, not bad at all. It's a good way to cash out your Counterblast. And, yeah, it's not too shabby. So, here's our lineup. You run Arbros Dragon Ratoon, obviously, because it's your ride chain. 4 Perfect Guard, 4 Blade Seed, 4 Ride Chain, does standard ride chain stuff, Limit Break Enabler. 4 Gene, 4 Rainbow Wood. Now again, you can replace this with Tree Sage and you'll be just fine. In fact, I'm even thinking about doing that because the deck's looking a little Counterblast heavy. So go ahead and swap this out for Tree Sage, and I think that might be a little bit better. Again, I have not had a chance to really get hands-on with this deck. So this one's more of a theory. I do like Rainbow Wood a lot. It's a good way to cash out your Counterblast, but Arbros is also cashing out your Counterblast, so yeah, again, probably go with Tree Sage. 1 Heyo Pineapple, because he's Heyo Pineapple. You could honestly run anything in the slot and you'll be fine. And then Ride Chain for obvious reasons. Ride Chain skill is that you get to call duplicates out of your deck, and it's not too bad. For your grade 3s, you run 4 Gene, obviously, 1 Laurel, she's a beater, and then if you aren't on Arbros, you better be on Trailing Rose, and there you go. That's the deck. Again, 9 draw, 4 heal, because once again, I need to keep hammering this home. If this is not your trigger lineup, you built your deck wrong. Period. Always. It doesn't matter what clan you're playing. It doesn't matter what deck you're playing. If this is not your trigger lineup, your deck is bad. And then the last deck to show today is a small upgrade of the previous build. So if you don't really have time to grind this event and you still want a halfway decent Neo Nectar deck and you have all the old stuff, this is what you want to build. Again, your grade 1 lineup doesn't change, P-Knight doesn't change, your grade 2 lineup doesn't change. Your grade 3 lineup's the only thing that changes. You just run World Snake Arboros, or Ouroboros, excuse me. When he attacks, you discard and draw, and it's not too bad. So, is this deck still good? Honestly, yeah, Trailing Rose, still solid. Jane, still solid. You can get away with playing this. But easily the best Neo Nectar deck out of this, out of the 3 is Arboros. Why? It has a ride chain. And there you go. Those are the profiles for today. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. I am always happy to hear from you guys and to just answer any questions you've got, because that's part of my job. I've been Speedrobo, and I will see you later.